Hi, I'm John Barber, Editor-in-Chief at IDW Publishing, and welcome to Barber's Shop. With everything going on in the world, I like to turn to comics to cope. Sometimes to escape, sure. Sometimes to make sense of the world through story and metaphor. Comics are great at that. But comics are also great at confronting topics head-on, being a direct line between creator and audience. When I was a teenager, when I set my life on the course that I'd be making comics for a living, or I don't know what Plan B was, that was the biggest appeal for me. All you needed was a pen and some paper, and you had comics. When the internet came along, it democratized distribution, and that's where I really got my start, was in the early days of webcomics. I loved the promise of freedom, no gatekeepers, of being able to share your ideas with people everywhere. And I wasn't alone. I envisioned a utopia where we'd all share what was inside us, and it'd be impossible to hate one another. So great would our mutual understanding be. Well, I don't know if you follow the news really closely, but that wasn't exactly how things turned out. But that notion of being able to communicate directly via comics, well, that stayed real. Pulitzer Prize finalist Matt Bors started the website The Nib 7 years ago to be a home to an eclectic assortment of cartoonists commenting on current events and using comics as a medium for memoir and essays about important topics related to the world outside, to, like I said, confront directly real-world issues, but with wit and humor. Last year, Matt navigated the Nib to a member-supported model and successfully crowdfunded a print collection. Not the first from the Nib, of course, but an important collection called Be Gay, Do Comics: Queer History, Memoir, and Satire. And now IDW has partnered with the Nib to bring that anthology to a wider audience. I'm really excited by what the editorial staff of the Nib has put together. Ellery Harris, Matt Lubchansky, Sarah Merck, Andy Warner, Delta Vasquez, designer Matt Kaufman, and cover artist Matty G collected a wide range of stories, ranging from 1 or 2 panels to 8 or 9 pages, by a wide range of queer voices and a wide range of art styles and subject matters. Some of these stories are intensely personal, some are broadly political. Some deal with queer history, some with overviews of LGBTQIA topics. There's no unifying voice, and I mean that in a really good way. This reads like that utopian dream. People's thoughts and emotions presented like wide open books, contradictory and confusing, messy and real. Human, you know? For me, I love getting to look in a window that isn't my life, except for the millions of points of connection where it is, because everybody's lives are connected. But what I mean is, this isn't a book like made for me to explain something to me. This is a book that feels like it's made for the creators. And again, I mean that in the best possible way. It's a book about real life in all its messy glory. It's a snapshot of what it means to be queer in 2020 and a document demonstrating that there is no one thing, there is no one way. Your way, the way that feels right, that's the way, and it might be really different from somebody else's way, and that's okay. No, wait, it's not okay. It's great. And the writing and art are beautiful, running a whole gamut of styles. There's 40 creators here, I can't name them all, from all over the world, from a vast array of orientations and genders and races and ages, all brimming with resilience, inspiration, and humor. There's a feeling here of togetherness. Even when some points of view are at sharp contrast to one another, there's a feeling of inclusion. And if there's one thing I walked away from Be Gay, Do Comics with, and there's way more, I learned about Gad Beck and Puerto Rican TV shows and Cooper Donuts and the dream of Stonewall Park and embryo adoption and what a haircut means and what a haircut doesn't mean too. But if there's one single thing above all else, it's that history and the world around us shape us, but it's okay to be who you are. And it's okay to figure out who you are, and there's no right way or right time to do that. Everybody's paths are different, even as our history and world are shared. And I don't know, in times like these, I think that's a great thing to remember. So check our web store or your local comic shop or bookseller and grab a copy of Be Gay, Do Comics. And as always, let's use this time to connect and keep the IDW community active. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll answer what I can. That's all for this week. Remember, you can keep up with IDW on social media and check back here every week for news and updates. Thanks for watching.